The Outlanders Journey. Tier 1, Level 0. Chapter 13. Laurel. You settle into your new routine over the course of the following month. You own very few belongings, so you were able to pack everything into a handy haversack provided by Professor Senos, who was also gracious enough to pay for your teleportation costs. In an instant, your life went from scrounging for your next meal to working for an esteemed professor on a government-sponsored project. How does your luck keep changing so rapidly? You wonder when it's all going to topple down again. 5 other individuals live in the apartment next to the professor's home and office. You live across the hall from Anon, and directly above you is another person who comes and goes frequently, their footsteps creaking the floors early in the morning. Your new space is just a single room with a bed and desk, about the same as your old dorm room on campus. On the ground floor is a communal kitchen area with a working cold box, as well as a bathhouse. Outside, there is an outhouse and a well pump. Since you and Anon are the youngest members of the apartment, you two take on the cleaning duties during the final 10-day of the month, when the kitchen and bath are at their dirtiest. A simple prestidigitation is not enough to scrub away the grime that has solidified on the kitchen counters, the dining table, the bathtub, and the floors. The field researchers, while assigned to handle the first 2 10 days of errands, know that the little half-gnome will do all the housework, and end up leaving their messes for him to handle. Anon, with quiet dignity, performs his duties diligently and consistently. You, too, find you can rely on him, and you constantly tap on his shoulder for clarification on your research work. Though you haven't been given another chance to perform with Amena or as any lead role again, you come into each rehearsal with much more enthusiasm than before. Now that it's no longer a means of making rent, you can express yourself more fully, with no fear of repercussions. Of course, the best part of your new life is still the money. You have disposable income now, and you and Amena have begun to go on dates, if you could call it that. Your small dorm-like room is nothing you can show off to her, but you've been able to afford a suite and even make a reservation for 2 at the Sapphire Gardens. Sitting outside, enjoying the summer air as multiple waitstaff come by attending to your every need, you understand why people are willing to pay exorbitant prices for such lavish experiences. "It's like you've opened up all of a sudden," says Amena as you wait for your food. "Like you've been inspired by something. Did something good happen?" She ordered the venison with a side of artichokes and a cranberry tart for dessert. You ordered a minced meat pie with roasted potatoes. The menu was so large and overwhelming that you had no idea how to customize your meal, so you picked the most familiar item. Still, there is a warm, comfortable breeze as the sun sets. Along the edges of the distant mountains, the usual blue glow is now a lovely heliotropic outline. A waiter refills your wine glasses. You asked for an expensive-looking bottle of red wine, here $8.79, shipped overseas from Frathia. The cost was not listed on the menu, but you got it anyway to look like you knew what you were doing. Why the fuck not? You watch the usual rush of pedestrians shuffling home after work. Even in this frenzy, something about the atmosphere is relaxed. There is beauty in routine, in schedules. You admire Amena's new necklace, made of real gold. She is wearing a yellow summer dress, which shows off her shoulders and collarbone. "I am in a good place," you say. "I suppose I am inspired. I've been doing research for a professor, and that's been giving me more confidence." "You're a second year at Flamora, right?" asks Amena. You nod. "Does that mean acting is just a side hustle for you, then?" Perhaps right now it is. And to be honest, the pay from the researcher position is quite nice. But I can't see myself doing it for the rest of my life. I reckon I'll do this until I graduate, and then I pursue acting full-time. You laugh. Not something my family would like to hear. For the first month of your research, You and Anon have been studying the Sylvan language, which you're secretly fluent in already. It never occurred to you that the language you spoke privately with your family was also the official language of the INA. The professor had asked you to study it not only to gain a degree of familiarity, but also to find any similarities between it and ancient Elvish. It has long been known that Elvish and Sylvan share the same script, indicating a common origin, but tracing back to what this original language was has been difficult. The documentation is extremely poor. Regardless, Professor Senos has reassured you and Anon that this was a task with low expectations, and whatever information you can find will be helpful. You spend most of your mornings scouring libraries in town, within the campus library, and inside the professor's collection. Professor Senos' office is filled with secret rooms, each behind one of the bookshelves along the walls. On one occasion, just as you were about to leave for the day, you caught the professor stepping downstairs into some sort of hidden basement, which you later learned was jokingly called the dungeon by both him and his more senior researchers. No one but him is allowed inside, adding to its mystery and intrigue, though Anon has assured you that it's probably just the safest place for the professor to develop new spells without being scryed on by other nosy researchers. The professor has hired one of the best artificers in the city to custom build this home and enhance it with various glyphs and wards. It seems a bit much, but you know how territorial and deranged some of the students and faculty at the academy can be. You remember how unwilling your classmates were to simply share notes from class or compare homework answers, all the while stealing as much information as they could from each other in secret. Amena smiles. If you're taking classes again, are you back to living on campus? I am, you say. A bit off campus, but still closer to school. You must be traveling a long way to come to rehearsals. Oh, it ain't too bad. The teleportation stations run till 11. As long as rehearsals don't run too late, I don't mind. Amena chuckles at your accidental dialect slippage. Well, she says, if it does go late, you can always stay at my place. If you don't mind me barging in, I can sleep on your couch or something. Yeah, she says, shrugging, looking away. I don't mind at all. As far as she knows, you are a tall, handsome high elf with a sharp jawline and long, wavy black hair tied up in a loose ponytail. This was the appearance you had crafted meticulously in order to better your chances while auditioning. An egregious taboo you committed out of pure egotism. Everything from your muscular physique to your voice was altered in order to maximize your appeal for the stage. You know she likes you, but she doesn't like you. Not even you can tolerate your real self in the mirror. But you like her too, and you like being with her. You like that she's noticed this version of you, and you like the way she looks at you. It's flattering to have convinced her into believing this is you. That's all acting is, in a way. After dinner, you walk home with her as usual, enjoying the calm air and quiet streets. She brushes the tips of her fingers against yours, and you hold her hand. You hope it's not too clammy. As you take in a breath, you once again hear your brother's voice in your head. Will you please tell me where you are? I need to make sure you're safe. Telepathically you respond, I told you already. I'm fine. I'm busy right now. I had a really nice time, she says, standing at her front porch, once more twirling a bit in her dress. She's waiting for you to make that first move again. It's nice to get to know you outside of work, you say. Yeah, she says, still waiting. It's nice to see you as Laurel and not Failal. You laugh. You take a quick, subtle breath and step closer. You touch your fingers to her chin, pulling her in as you lean forward and close your eyes to kiss her. You sense her body relent as she puts her arms around your waist. You pull away, and her face is completely flushed. Well, you feel yourself saying. It's like you're leaving your body again, your voice no longer your own. I guess that means I can also kiss you as Laurel and not Phelal. She laughs, combing her fingers through your hair. She kisses you again, and her hands move down your arms and grasp your fingers. She pulls you up the steps, climbing up backwards, and opens the door behind her, leading you inside. You follow her, letting her take control. Who is Laurel, anyway? And is he any less of a performance than Phelal? You are struck by the same creeping sensation, like your time at the academy, that feeling of being watched, scrutinized. But to be seen by her, how is that not a good thing? You touch your amulet, and Amena begins to lead you up a flight of stairs. She guides your hands down to her hips, and you kiss her shoulder as you both ascend. You arrive at the top floor, and she takes you down the hall, opening the door to her unlit bedroom. You feel yourself pull her in for another kiss, touching tongues, and she runs her fingers down your chest, along your amulet before undoing the buttons of your jacket one at a time. You stroke her hair and caress her neck, tracing the outline of her shoulder blades before pulling off the straps of her dress. She steps back, eyes still gazing into yours. She slips out of her dress, letting it fall to the floor. You remove your boots and pull off your dress shirt. Your amulet gleams in the moonlight peeking through the window, and as you take it off, feeling its heft lift off your shoulders, you wonder if it's right for you to let go like this. You drop it and hear it thud against the floor, nestled on top of your clothes. She takes your hands again as she lies on her bed, pulling you in. You climb on top of her, straddling her naked frame. Your real body is no bigger than hers. What if she finds out and sees you for who you truly are? She draws circles around your nipples as you bend down to kiss her. You kiss her on the mouth again, then her jawline, her neck, and her ear. "Say my name," you whisper, almost pleading. "Laurel," she whispers. Laurel. You think. Your name is Laurel. Laurel, Laurel, Laurel. You've already fooled her this far, so get on with it. Perform. Act. Your brother's voice enters your head again. "I've had enough. I know you're not at Flamora anymore, Elise. You'll have to do some explaining unless you want to speak with Father first." You stop. The air hangs with the heat of your breaths, your perspiration. You stare at her, paralyzed. Elise, you heard, Elise. In her eyes, you see the reflection of your true face, pale and inhuman and hideous. Your true name echoes in your head. You leap out of bed, stumbling back until you're up against the cold, rough wall, panting. I have to go," you say. "I forgot I need to do something. I'm sorry." "I was trying to let you give me an explanation," your brother telegraphs. "You can't keep avoiding me forever." "What's wrong?" says Amena, sitting up, covering her chest with her arms. "I'm sorry." You spin around, scooping up your shoes and clothes and the amulet from the floor. You don't wait to see her face, you just go, dashing down the stairs. At the front door, you hop on one leg at a time as you slip into your boots, draping your jacket over your shoulders, only one arm in a sleeve. You bolt out of the house, your amulet swinging in your hands. You hear Amena calling your fake name as the door shuts behind you. There's an alleyway to your right, and you duck inside, crouching down and holding your amulet to your chest. You slip it on again. Your shoelaces are untied, your dress shirt bundled into a ball in your hands. Your breathing is erratic, and your brother's voice keeps replaying in your head. "Go away, go away, go away." You put your hands over your ears, a high-pitched ringing reverberating in your skull. You dig your nails into the metal chains of your amulet. You reply to your brother, "Just leave me alone." There is no response after this, and you sit in silence in the alleyway. Everything you've done in your pathetic life, a reflection of your selfishness, of the facade that you are.